everyone. Hi. Sorry. Forgot to add myself to the live again. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Hey, Sue. Hey, Kira. Hey, Mr. Black Wolf. Hey, Reagan. We mean Aaron Veda is live with Nunya. Like Nunya's on her channel? Hey, Little Red. What's up? Oh. I didn't realize she was live, but I don't have any other time to stream except for like 2 a.m. So, okay. Sorry. I cut myself today at work. I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. I went to Shutdown Tech and I saw a post on Nunya. Good night. Wait, Nunya is on her channel? Get out of here. Oh, I guess so. All right. Well, this is interesting. Well, I'm still going to do my commentary on Nunya's shit because I got my own shit to say on it. So I will check that out after. So let me pull up Nunya's stream because that's what I plan on talking about. Like, oh my God, I cannot believe the shit that I heard come out of her mouth on her stream. Like, it's, I'm like, seriously, I'm like speechless almost. And I only listened to like a few minutes of it too. So I'm gonna skip ahead through it a little bit because I don't know how it starts off, but I'm gonna just pretty much stick to what I covered. That channel is Veda J. That's the name of it. All right, People Are Trash is the name of Nunya's stream. So here we go.
Year now.
And I have the volume up.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh. How do I do my earbuds? But I just had Oh, they're there. Okay. Okay.
Choose silence. Stay the fuck off the internet. That's what you could have done. I just seen a comment right before I hit the live button, and it was like, well, honestly, if she would have told them and not let social media tell them, then they would have known, and none of this would have happened. No, here's the thing. When they did know, they chose to be shit people. What a lot of people don't know is that when Letitia decided to post on her own personal fucking Facebook page about her son's condition, she chose to tag his ex-girlfriend while he had a whole fucking wife for 8 goddamn years.
Oh, so she didn't tell Vaughn's parents because Dre felt slighted by Letitia. Is that it? Because I thought that this was just about Vaughn, right? I thought that this was about Vaughn. I didn't know that this was about someone's hurt feelings because someone mentioned an ex-girlfriend or something. I mean, just whatever.
That's what we're doing? Okay, cool. But that's not disrespectful to his wife though, right? Cool. At least his ex-girlfriend will know now, right? Because she should have asked.
You're right. Because Letitia tagged an ex-girlfriend at Vaughn's in a post. She deserved to not be told that her son lay in a coma after an attempted S, or that her son had a year later passed away from that. You're right. Because that makes sense. I mean, why I shouldn't know. And you want to talk about what's no one's business? Why the hell do I now know that Letitia tagged Vaughn's ex-girlfriend in a post? It's none of my fucking business, right? Why do I know this now? Like, this is what I have a problem with. You want to call out what you think is shit behavior or people being trash or whatever all around you. Well, you kind of lose all ground for that when you revert to the very trash you are trying to point out, because that's what you do. That's what you're doing. If you want to sit here and say, well, what else am I supposed to do? How about nothing? How about you do nothing? How about you be the fucking change you want to see in everyone else? How about you lead by example or whatever it is you want to call it?
Absolutely have known for what fucking reason. They weren't friends. They had no relationship, and they had been long gone. But that's what Letitia chose to do, right? In her comments, they immediately decided on the very first post she made when she found out, they decided that they were going to go ahead and slide it fucking into the comments that she did something. That's the story that they started pushing from day one. They didn't need a fucking Molly. They didn't need a Justin. They didn't need a Beta. They didn't need any fucking body. They didn't need a Katie Joy. They didn't
okay.
see
I was going to say, why are we leaving Katie Joy out of this? Because I mean, Katie Joyce, she started pushing this shit to Letitia in DMs. Do we not remember what the DM said?
need any fucking body to help them disrespect the fuck out of his wife. And then they wonder to this day, they think that their son is dead and their choice is, let me run to the fucking internet and tell the internet. Why?
Probably because, now I don't know this for a fact, I'll be honest, I haven't talked to them, but I put myself in their shoes, probably because that's the only time they ever got anywhere is by calling for help, enlisting others to help them, by calling to light and bringing to the forefront or bringing out of the darkness the thing that's the roadblock for them. I mean, you sit here and say, why did they have to bring it to the internet? Where else were they supposed to go? Because you want to sit here and say what they should have done. Well, that avenue was shut. There was a roadblock there. They weren't going to be able to do that. So, I mean, they came to the internet for answers. And this time around, right now, because they want confirmation. And as much as like whatever authorities or whatever they call and talk to, it may just feel like to them, like it's not confirmed. It's not real unless his wife fucking shares this with them. Maybe.
For what? Y'all are gross. Y'all are gross. You have no integrity. You have no love for him. You have no love for his children. Children, because all three of those kids are his fucking kids. You're gross. And for what? So is this your next kick for how to get some more money? Is that what this is? Because y'all were hardcore pushing. If only I had the opportunity to hire a private investigator, I could just get so many answers. What fucking answers do you need, sir, ma'am? What fucking answers could you possibly need at this point?
Just confirmation from his wife that he has in fact passed away. Maybe how he's going to be laid to rest. If maybe where, so they could visit his grave. I mean, what would you want to know as a parent? What would you want to know?
The answers are he tried to commit suicide. Let's be real. That is the answer.
Yeah.
Suicide is nobody's fault. Please educate your fucking selves. The answers are the police department did an investigation and found that she was physically not at fault for anything that happened that day. Totally done with. Gone with. That's the answer. Okay? Oh, but we want answers. We demand answers to know exactly what's happening. We want to update. How's he doing? Here's the thing. Y'all made a choice the day that you decided to link up with YouTubers and link up with the fucking Facebook group and link up with people who heavily edited videos to make it look like something it wasn't. The day you decided that that was your best path, the day you decided to let admins who you did not know, who had a fucking ex friendships, ex admins, ex bullshit, right? And a lot of fucking hatred for your daughter-in-law, the day you fucking decided to let them write a text message on your behalf to communicate with her in an effort to see your son, you fucked up.
Wow. So this isn't about Vaughn. This isn't about what kind of parents they may or may not have been to Vaughn. This is all about what their daughter-in-law deems as disrespectful to her. But it's not about her. It shouldn't have never been about her. I mean, I don't even want to talk on this. I really don't. But Nunya is the one bringing this up now, and I feel like in order to follow along, I have to fucking respond or whatever. But they didn't know anything about Vaughn being in the hospital until social media told them. That's how they learned. So right from the get-go, they're learning that if they want to really be aware of anything, or they have questions or they want answers, well, social media is their best bet, because nobody else is making any effort to tell them anything. And say what you want, but you can blame it on whatever you want. I mean, which is ridiculous. I mean, why they didn't enlist any admins or any previous fucking moderators or admins or whatever, or anyone on social media until after they found out he was in the hospital. So then why the fuck didn't she right off the bat reach out and tell his family that he was in the hospital? Why did they have to find out that way? So you want to hold it over their head and put it in their face about how they did this and they teamed up with this person and that person. They shouldn't have had to team up with anyone, but they did. Who they should have been able to have teamed up with should have been Dre. So why didn't Dre inform them? So, I mean, you want to throw it in their face and try to blame them for why they're not getting the most basic of information regarding their loved one. You want to try to blame them for her actions. Well, I don't know. I feel like they were left with no other choice. And now they're being blamed for that. It's fucked up. And like, I don't even know. I don't understand why Nunya is just so fucking invested in this.
Who would do that? Trust and believe. If my son ever marries somebody and we have a falling out and we go years without seeing somebody, and I get notice that at some point in time, my son has made a choice like that, the only thing I'm going to be concerned about is how can I be there? How can I be there? That should have been your only concern, but you didn't want that, right? You wanted to no accountability. You wanted to sit back and cry about how poor you.
How was that not their concern? They wanted to go out there. Letitia was made to believe that she would not be allowed out there or whatever. How or why this was presented to her, I'm not exactly sure of. But this is the impression she was under, which is completely substantiated when you look at the video from Dre flipping out over Marvin Sr. and why not being there. Especially when Dre afterwards came out and said that she only acted like that because she thought it was Letitia. So, your only concern should have been wanting to be there or being there. Well, what do you think this has all been about? What the fuck do you think this has been about? How do you miss that? How do you just fucking act like none of that ever happened? How do you do that?
Poor you. I don't give a fuck at the end of the day if he was adopted. I know that you were in his life throughout his life. I know that. You know why I know? Because as a matter of fact, Vaughn talked about it. He talked about when he lived with you and what the physical abuse in your home was and what the domestic violence in your home looked like. And how the sport that he loved, wrestling, absolutely fucking had to be quit because none of you bastards would get up and take him to fucking wrestling. I know those stories because he told those stories on live streams. I don't need it secondhand from anybody else. I don't need anybody else's version. I can hear his own fucking words. But y'all love him, right? You care about him? Fucking.
Wow. So, look, we all make mistakes as parents, and I'm not excusing any mistakes that they've made as parents. I'm not. And I'm just saying that they weren't looking to like get a second chance at parenting. They just wanted to know what happened to their son. They wanted to be there for his son as he lay in a coma. So, I mean, if Vaughn sat there, this is what I can't imagine. Like, if Vaughn sat there talking about these things and he was hurt and he was still, affected by these things, by the mistakes that they made as parents, then why is it then when they want to do something right, why does anyone else have any right to stop them from doing that?
Fucking jokes. Fuck out of here. Stay the fuck away from YouTube. One day you're going to want to see him, right? In 6 months, don't come on here trying to pull at the fucking heartstrings and the purse strings of people. We didn't know. We don't know what happened. I just don't understand. Yes, LG, can you please drop missing puzzle pieces so people can hear that shit for themselves? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. But I didn't know. We called these people and they told us these things. And then the YouTubers, they got on the phone and they called these people. That's interesting. I watched Kathy P's live yesterday. She called that office. There's no Frank or Mike that worked there.
Oh my God. And you people, did you not hear the stream? They weren't on the phone. They were not on the phone with the medical examiner's office. They mentioned on the phone call with whom the gentleman they were speaking with, they mentioned how they called the medical examiner's office. Another phone call. They're telling this office how they called this other office. How do you miss that? And you're making you're building so much of this shit off of this complete mistake of yours. Like, are you going to walk that back? Are you going to sit there and think, okay, wow, okay, well, we fucked up there. Let's forget. No, you're going to keep going with it. It's not what was said. I mean, unbelievable.
Oh, shit. That's interesting. I wonder how you could be on a phone with somebody and they not actually work there. Maybe that's the reason why you couldn't confirm or play the whole full recorded phone call. Now that's interesting.
No, you see, I was under the impression as I listened to the phone call, this is the only thing that gives me this impression that the things that they bleeped out were things that would have been personal information on the people they were talking to or about. And I mean, out of respect for them, because they don't need to be dragged into any fucking stupid YouTube shit. Out of respect for them, they bleeped it out. That's what I picked up on. I mean, what the fuck do you think was bleeped out? I mean, I thought it was pretty apparent there.
Anyways, don't come on here. We don't want to see the bullshit anymore. We're over it, right? Leave them alone. Please go have your memorial. Have whatever you're going to have for them down there in Savannah. Okay? Enjoy, have at it. Right? Do you?
How generous of you to give them permission to have a memorial for their own child. Oh, that's so big of you, Nunya.
Live your life moving forward as if you believe he is dead. Please, for all of the internet's sake, and most importantly, for the kids, for his wife, and for his dignity. Because while everybody claims that they do this for him, fuck you all. Not one person has ever done this shit for him because it was never about him.
No, I'm going to say fuck you, because you think you're what? You're respecting his dignity by supporting his parents not being informed whether or not he's alive or not, or what his condition is, or whatever. Like, you think that that's dignified on Vaughn's behalf.
It started as an attack on Dre. That's the reality
Nobody
of
gives
everything.
a shit about Dre.
You focused on Dre because it was easier to focus on her than your own shitty behavior as a parent, right? I'm sorry, but here's the thing. Newsflash, you're a shitty parent. That's what it is. And your guilt from you not being the parent that he may have absolutely positively needed in his life, that caused him issues in his life throughout his entire fucking life, live and fucking die in that shit.
You know, at the time Vaughn took this attempt on his life, he wasn't really, his parents weren't really in his life, right? But Dre was. Now, I'm not saying it's Dre's fault. I'm not at all saying that. But wow, the balls some people have to think, to try to put out there that his parents have any responsibility where his wife wouldn't. The time that he spent growing up with his family, he didn't take any attempts then. Obviously, he had something more going on with it inside of him. Bottom line is, he did what he did because there were issues that he was having within himself. It's nobody's fault. But that's the point. It's nobody's fault. Let's keep it as nobody's fault.
That's what you can do. That's a choice that you made. Congratulations. How wonderful of you to be able to do such a thing. But what you're not going to continue to doing is speak as if you know him. Speak as if you give a fuck about him, because you don't.
I think they know him a little bit better than you. I'm pretty sure that they've known him longer than you, and they know much more about him than you do. But I mean, you feel like, I guess, for whatever reason, you have some sort of right to speak on behalf of this, of Vaughn, of Dre, of everyone. I mean, hey, if Dre has enlisted you to speak on her behalf, then fine, whatever. That's her right. She can do that. But from what I can see, nobody asked you. But the family has asked other people to speak up, but not you, or nonsense.
Because if you did, you would have known that his love of everything was his wife and his kids. You would have known that. But you don't want to know that, right? Because it's so easy to hate her. It's so easy to be able to get over your own guilt and your own feelings of the way that you failed, your own failures. It's so easy to get over those by hating somebody else. I don't know if this is the anger part of your...
What the... You are reading way too much into this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure as parents, they have their own share of guilt. I mean, even the best of parents still feel guilty about shit. So I imagine people who, did make some mistakes are going to feel some guilt. Whatever. But you are jumping to a lot of conclusions here. You're thinking that they hate Dre because it's what, projection or something, or a way for them to deal. They see themselves in her. Maybe they're just pissed off that they lost their fucking son, and they want someone to blame. I'm sure. Who wouldn't in that position? Maybe it's just their grief over losing their son, and not what you think they must be seeing here, which is weird. I mean, that never even crossed my mind. I'm wondering why it crossed yours.
Of your denial, I don't know, of your grief process. but I hope it goes very quickly for you. I hope that you understand that what you did on the live the other day is bringing in CPS calls. It is bringing in calls to the police department. It is bringing in calls to the medical examiner slash coroner's office. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job. Way to breathe dignity to him. Way to show him.
You know what would have prevented any calls being brought in there? Which, I mean, I'm not sure like why that's such a problem to you or to Dre or to Vaughn or whatever. I mean, so people called it a public office. Okay. Well, people are calling because they don't know. They don't know. And sure, Dre doesn't, she absolutely doesn't owe anyone on the internet anything. Sure. I'm the first one to say that. But that's not going, just because she doesn't owe it to them doesn't mean people are going to stop caring or stop wanting to know. The fact that the reason why people care and want to know is because they've seen it played out and put on display in front of them for so long. They want to know how the story ends. You know, like you're watching anything else, really. You just want to know how it turns out. And that's why people want to know. And if you're going to get people all involved and interested in this story and then withhold the ending from them, they're going to ask questions. I'm right or wrong. I think there's an argument on both sides to be had, whatever. I take no side, really. I'm just explaining why it's happening, right or wrong. And I heard, I was listening to someone's stream. I don't remember. Oh no, that's right. It was Heels in the Air video. There was a clip in there with Dre talking in a live stream because I'm guessing somebody asked her about Vaughn in this live stream, and she went off and she was explaining how she said, we're not comic book characters or something like that. I think she said, we're not reality stars. We're real people. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure reality stars are real people too, but I digress. Yeah, you are real people. Real people who, much like reality stars, put it all out there on display for everyone to see it, for everyone to watch, for everyone to contemplate, to emote along with you while watching. So that's why people are caring. That's why people are wondering and concerned and asking questions. And I mean, if you're on a live stream which is for the purpose of having people watch you, and you're wondering why people are asking you questions about other shit that's been out there on the live stream with you. I mean, what do you expect? People are gonna ask. You know, you can say it's none of their business all you want, and you can refuse to tell them. You have every right to. I'm not saying that. I'm just explaining why people are asking.
Show them how much you love them so much, right? You guys are doing amazing. No, you're not. And to the two daughters, the two sisters, who, well, mainly one, who he loved so much, and you were in his life up until that day, even afterwards, you were there. I don't know how you haven't sat down and told your mom and dad what the fuck is going on. We need to stop. We need to absolutely stop. I don't know. I have no clue how that's not happening. To the YouTubers who really don't care, this is a story to you. You'll just throw out anything that you hear. You'll just say whatever you want. You'll just believe anything you want. Good for you. Good for you. If it brings the clicks and views that you're looking for, absolutely. Great. Good for you. But I hope and pray that this never happens to your family. I hope that you never have children, that this happens to you and your spouse. I hope that nobody in your family ever has a struggle with or fights against mental illness and has to deal with these thoughts with you around.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Why are you why? What thoughts? What thoughts of harming themselves? Are you saying that what this kind of shit, talking about this on YouTube, is what drove Vaughn to that point? Because I think you're putting the cart before the horse here with your fucking vitriolic hate at people. Okay, just it doesn't make sense. But I mean, I really hope that she's addressing nonsense with that too, because myself, Molly, Veda, I don't recall any of us ever having a discussion amongst each other or whatever when we're talking about clicks and views or whatever. But it's come out of nonsense's mouth several times now how she's invested in subscribers, anyways, the number of subscribers, because she has brought that up several times now. So it sounds like to me she is kind of concerned with that. And no one heard of her. No one knew who she was before this story. And she has done an untold number of streams and lives and videos on this situation. And sure, people say, well, she only used it to come at Molly or to, hold Molly accountable or whatever. Well, then why did she hide behind so many other things with her hashtags, with her talking? Because she didn't just focus on this. She used these causes and this situation to try to harm Molly and her following. And I mean, it sounds like to me there was no shortage of things to come at Molly over. So she really didn't have to spend over 10 months on this one thing over and over and over again. Did she?
That's my hope for you. I believe that there is a very, very special place, in a place that's very hot, reserved specifically for you. Now, I may be there right next to you, but I'm good with it. I can guarantee you'll be there with me, though.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So you're hoping that that we will all end up in hell or whatever, or we'll find ourselves in hell. And you're suggesting that we deserve this. And you may be right there next to us, you say, but you're good with it. Make that make sense. Because that sounds like to me that you're dropping down to our level or other people's level. And you're doing that for the sake of coming at those other people. Well, that doesn't prove a point. That doesn't show anyone anything. That just makes you just as bad. And if you can live with you being that bad, then why is it an issue when other people are? I mean, it's either wrong or it's not.
Can guarantee it. So while everybody is here building out more frames than fucking Aaron Brothers and, oh my God, nonsense this, oh my God, this, that, let's hold some people accountable. How about that?
Okay.
How about we actually start talking about what the real truth and the real facts are? Fact is, he had mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Fact is, he's spoken on that himself.
Okay.
Fact is, he has a whole wife. Fact is, his parents had no legal rights to him. Fact is, if they actually really wanted to have dignity for their son or do what's right by their son, they would have loved on their grandkids. They would have loved on his.
See, that's not a fact. That's an opinion. Okay, that last bit. Okay, I'm just saying. This could be the confusion with you somewhat, Nunya, if you're unsure of what are facts and what are opinions.
His wife, and they would have done what it took to be there. Fact is, when he was in the VA, they would have gone to visit. Fact is, they would have actually never had to collect any fucking money for an attorney. And don't come here telling me the Cash App wasn't for an attorney. It absolutely was. You should probably go check Letitia's page before you.
The Cash App was for many things. Whatever she wanted to use it for. That's the whole point of Cash App and donating money to someone through Cash App. That's the whole point.
Keep saying that because the shit is still up on her fucking page. To the people on the internet who feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so connected with this. I'm so, I feel so emotionally torn. I really wish that I know. I understand.
What are you exhibiting right here? Because you sound like you believe you're so connected to this and you're so emotionally torn.
The emotional connection that people feel like they have, but it's not our family. This isn't our husband. This isn't our father.
No one said that it was. Why do you think people are thinking that it's their husband or their father? People can care about other people without there being that intimate relationship. I mean, no one's suggesting that's fucking weird.
This isn't our brother. This isn't our son. This isn't anything to us but a story. And please.
But it's a story that people know is real. I mean, it's not like nobody thinks they've been watching a fucking movie this whole time. It's like reality TV. So people think that the story is real. And I think the story is real. People just want to know how the story fucking ends.
Let it go. Now that they believe that he has passed away, maybe they will go away. Maybe we won't see them on the internet anymore until the next hoax goes around. Let her go and care for her husband. Let her children love on their father. Let his mother-in-law.
Is Nunya trying to say that he's not passed? I mean, I thought that it sounded like that's what she was saying a little while ago, but now I'm thinking that really is what she's saying. Oh, wow. I hope my son's wife is never jealous. My son bought me a car as a gift and makes him stop making payments and refuses to let my child have a relationship with me, then keeps his death a secret. Yeah. Yeah, I pray to God I never walk in Letitia's shoes because I'd go to jail. Yeah, she would not let them see the kids, except, I mean, and this is what's so unreal. Like, she's doing the nonsense, does this video or stream, whatever the fuck, I think it was a stream, where she's saying how none of these things are our business. But she then proceeds to tell us more things that are not our business. Like, I'm learning a lot from listening to Nunya right now that I never knew. And I didn't care to know, and I still don't care to know. But for some reason, I'm going to know.
Love on her son, because that's what he has said. He cried on live stream when Dre's mom called him son. That speaks volumes to me. I can't stress enough that this is nobody's fucking business. Updates moving forward. Announcements moving forward. If you don't hear it from Dre, stop believing it.
Wow.
Please stop believing it. You think that I can't easily go and let's say well, Nick may be a bad example. Let's say I don't know who's another guy. We're going to use Ben as an example because I seen his name earlier. I can be like, hey, Ben, hey, I'm going to say you're Frank, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to set this up real quick, right? Okay, cool. Now let me call. Hey, Frank, this is Nunya, and I'm calling, and I just want to do blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay. You think people can't do that? Oh, okay.
Are you fucking serious? That's what you think happened? Now, and let me remind you, because I know she's trying to push this as if like it's Justin or it's Molly who set up this fake phone call or this fake conversation with these fake people or whatever. But do you think Marvan's parents did this too? Why? What would the point be? See, the only person who loses, the only person who gets hurt possibly by his death being known would be Dre, but that only happens because she didn't bother to tell anyone. She didn't bother to tell his family for 6 weeks. That's the only thing that hurts her. And I feel like that's something that's trying to be avoided right now. And this is why this is being pushed so hard. Unless you hear it from Dre, you don't believe it? Wow. That's fucking, why is Nunya, why are you so fucking invested? Why do you fucking care so this much? Why? This is fucking weird.
All right, cool. Well, I get that too. Maybe you're just some trusting ass people. That's cool too. I don't trust that easily. Doesn't happen. So at the end of the day, it looks like their money train has obviously, they didn't put up any cash apps, so that may dry up. However, I'm not quite sure, Wynette, how it is possible that in your right mind, right? In your right mind, you said, this is literally, Dre, we just really need some answers. If you're out there, tell us. Tell us some answers, right? Okay. But then in this, like literally, but minutes earlier, your husband said, but they'll give all this information to the lady who killed my son. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Are you kidding me right now? Are you seriously kidding me?
So Dre doesn't want Von's parents to know that he's passed because she's afraid that they're going to say she killed him. I mean, people can say whatever they want. Although I do think that a big part of maybe why they're so mad that they need someone to blame so badly is because they don't fucking know. They have no answers. So, but regardless, you can't control that or stop that. This isn't I feel like this is all about this. Nunya is talking throughout this stream, and I even feel like this blame of trying to blame shit on the parents, like, oh, well, you could have known had you not done this. Had you not done that, what they wouldn't have had to do the things they did had they known to begin with. But they didn't know. So they're being blamed for reacting to Dre not telling them for weeks that Vaughn was even in the hospital. And it seems like all of these streams, just talking about it, these attempts, it sounds like it's all an attempt to try to control what they're doing, to try to control what Vaughn's parents are doing. You can't do that. How is that dignity for Vaughn? And I mean, I'm not sure how you can really show someone who's passed away dignity. I'll be honest. You can honor them. But if they're not here, then they can't appear dignified. They can't receive dignity. They can't be granted this. They can't show it. They can't exude it. But they can be honored. So I'm not sure how this is honoring Vaughn at all. The way to honor him, in my opinion, is to let people know he's no longer here. Not just his parents, but the people who knew him, either knew him in real life or knew him through their hundreds of live streams of videos that they've done together with an audience over the years. That would be how you honor this man. This is not honoring him. His parents being dragged and ignored and attempted to be controlled. It's not honoring this man. It's not about them. It's not about Dre. It's not about anyone. But it's being made that way. You want to honor this man, then let the world know to mourn him.
What are you talking about? How? To love your son is to love his wife. I don't care what anybody says. You can be the biggest bitch in the world. They took vows. You are sick. And I'm sorry, a man who tends to...
They took vows. The two of them took vows. Not just Vaughn, but Dre as well. How is this honoring or respecting Vaughn by not even fucking telling his parents? And she had an obligation to honor her husband, right? Because you're pointing it out how these parents have an obligation to honor their son by respecting his wife. Well, his wife has the same obligations to this man.
To not have full-on respect for women shouldn't be on a live stream speaking about women.
What?
That's my thing. Because I'm waiting, because the next Dex host is going to go up a notch, right? So last time it was just a little bit. Now we're up to the next one, and then up to the next one, and then up to the next one.
No idea
You know
what
I
the hell
mean?
she's talking about there.
Come on now. I really would like for everybody to remember that this could easily be your family. And as a sub, as a creator.
Nobody has to listen to you though, Nunya. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you in this situation? You're no one.
100%. The internet can do this to you. So while we stand out, sometimes on soapboxes, sometimes on high horses.
Okay. The internet's not doing this to anyone. Okay. This isn't the internet like some nefarious force in virtual world or whatever. People are kind of doing this to themselves. I mean, what is it you think that the internet's done here? What have they done? What has the internet done exactly? They've asked fucking questions. They're just looking for answers. Oh, well, the internet can do this to you too. What? Want to know answers to things that they know publicly because people put it out there publicly for the public to view? This is not the internet. This isn't the internet doing that to people. It's people kind of doing it to themselves. I mean, if you want to benefit and enjoy from being a public figure online, from having people tune in to view you, and then to even make money off of their viewing you, or among other means or ways, well, this shit doesn't come free or cheap. I mean, you have to put things out there. I mean, if people are invested, then they're invested. Now, she may not be obligated to tell anyone anything, but it's just kind of you're kind of entitled if you think you can be on the internet, you can take from the internet all the things you want and not have to face any of the shit you don't want to deal with or you don't want. Because I don't know. It's using people. It's using people for whether it be notoriety, for adoration, whether it be for monetary means, whatever. That's using them if you think you can just take, and take, and take. but then tell them fuck you because they have questions.
Horses and sometimes in the fucking slums of YouTube. I would absolutely encourage you to guard what you're taking in. Guard if you even have a right to ask questions about something. It's not a true crime case. This is a lady whose husband was dealing with mental health.
I guess I do understand why that statement's in there, because I guess people in the beginning thought that this was like a true crime case. I don't get that. I don't know. This wasn't a case, and I've said that from the very beginning. It's an event. It's a situation. Whatever. It's a story. Whatever. It's not a case. But anyways,
Health issues, who chose to, out of his mental exhaustion, do what he felt was best. So what if it was your husband? How about, what if
it were my husband, I'd be mad as fuck. I'd be mad at my husband. I mean, I know that it may not be the popular answer, and I'm sure I'd get over my anger at some point and whatever, but yeah, I'd be mad as fuck. Oh my God, I'd be livid. If the man I was with thought that he could just leave me like that, oh my God, I'd be so mad.
if it was your wife? What if it was your son? What if the entire internet, I don't know if I can get this to load to StreamYards. I'm going to try. Molly put up a post in her Patreon, right? And she's looking for Dre again. Love that for everybody. You know, that's just how she does. So I'm going to just read it because I can't get it in Streamlines. My phone is almost dead. I got some news on Dre. She's staying at one of her admin's house. Absolute fucking lie. She's claiming, or did claim, that people were actually flying in to drive by her mother's house to see if they would get a glimpse of her, and she didn't feel safe. This is what she's telling people. Number one, she has not spoke on that. Number two, at one point in time, people were driving miles. And while Molly may not know it because she's absolutely fucking misinformed 99% of the time and then ignorant the other 1%, okay? People did drive by her house. There were videos posted in that Facebook group by her house.
I have seen nothing of the sort. Nothing. I'm really curious if that's the case. Like, and do we know who it is that took these videos and posted them? I want to know. Like, seriously, because this is the first I'm even hearing of this, which is odd. You'd think we would have heard about this like long ago.
So that's not a lie. Okay. All right. I don't know if you guys saw Veda, but she didn't live, and I didn't want to get into it on my little channels, but turns out Dre is trying to sue the hospital. Where? She never said that. Stop fucking making up lies. Now, mind you, this is after their whole death hoax started. Okay. All right. Retained an attorney, question mark, question mark. But this is what I have a problem understanding. If she's got an attorney and she's trying to sue this hospital, then why in God's name would she just leave Marvon? Again, please go back and watch Kathy P's live from yesterday, where she calls the medical examiner's office and they explain that wouldn't have happened. Unclaimed bodies are not a thing unless they are legit unclaimed. That also wouldn't have happened. So add that to lie number 7,500.
Here's what I find weird, okay? Because it sounded like to me that the resolution to Von having died had yet to happen. So like we're 6 weeks out from the date he said to have passed away, and there still isn't resolution from the sounds of it. That's weird. Like, that's 6 weeks. Now, for granted, we don't know. Like, nobody knows. But that's what I heard. That's my takeaway from it. And I wonder why that is.
528. Okay. That makes zero sense. I agree, Molly. It does make zero sense. I mean, you were saying that if she had an attorney or a heart or a soul, she would have done the right thing. There's no way an attorney would be okay with her not claiming her own husband's body. Or does this attorney even know she hasn't? Why the fuck is it any of her goddamn business? It is none of her business. It is no one's business. It's not my business. It's not Molly's business. It's not the Jacksons' business.
The fuck
It's
it's
not
not.
Tobias's business.
Fuck it's not.
It's Dre's business. It's Vaughn's business. It's their children's business. That's it. That's all. There's a reason why Molly is off of YouTube. And God bless it, I'll leave every live that even talks about her. 100% I will run out of that bitch as quickly as I can.
Bullshit.
This is their real life. When every one of us clicks off on YouTube, hit ends the live, clicks to end a live, or goes to find a new one, or goes to find a replay to watch. This is their real life. This is their real life that they have to live. They don't get to turn it off. They don't get to turn off the struggle, the stress, the overwhelmingness, the frustration. They don't get to turn that off. They don't get to hit post on a comment and it's all gone for them. That's not what they do. It's none of their business. No, daddy's baby girl, no. They have not. It's no one's business.
Imagine, like, Nunya is no one to Vaughn's parents. Like, they don't know anything about her. This fucking stranger, complete and total stranger to these parents, is on a fucking YouTube channel telling them it's not their fucking business whether or not their son lives or dies. The audacity of this bitch. Like, right?
And I'm not here to tell anybody what to do on their page. I'm just here to set the record straight that it's none of your fucking business. Oh.
Okay. It's none of our business to expect the people who are close to Vaughn to tell us anything. But we can talk about whatever the fuck we want. All of us. Especially if the thing we wish to talk about has been something put on public display for the sake of attracting viewers and us as viewers. We get to talk about that. So yeah. But by all means, keep telling YouTube what they can and can't talk about. What is or what isn't their business. As if you know. As if you're some authoritative fucking figure on that.
Oh, but Nunya, it's none of your business either. You're right. You're right. That's the reason why you haven't seen not one live up until today where I've spoke on it like that.
Up until today. So you can no longer say that we haven't seen one live from you speaking on this, because now we have. So that is now a false statement for you to make. That is now, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's a negative. So you are now down here with the rest of us negatives, because you have now done the same thing that you say all of us negative people have done. You're now right there with us. So for you to say, this is why you haven't seen, right off the bat, right by you saying that is making you a liar. Let it go. You can't say that anymore. That's great. What, you want a medal because you waited a week? And I'm sorry, you didn't wait a week. Sure, you waited a week before you did a live on your channel, but you didn't wait a week before you were in lives talking about it, whether in chat or on panel, because you've been right there doing it every chance you got. So yeah, you've kind of been right there with everyone else right along.
Oh, but you go on Nonsense's page and you help her? Absolutely, because what was being done to this family, and by family, I mean Marvon, I mean Dre, I mean the kids. What was being done to them?
Who are you to determine who is Vaughn's family? Who the fuck are you to say, no, you are not that man's family? Who the fuck are you? Wow.
Was wrong as fuck. It was wrong and it was gross. It was the worst parts of the internet coming out to show their ass. All to fight for parents who loved him so much, that they thought it'd be an amazing idea. They thought the best thing that Molly could have done was show the body cam footage. That's what they thought was amazing to do for their kid's sake. Worst day of his fucking life. Yeah, let's show the fucking internet. Let's make sure it's on the internet so his kids can see. Yeah, woohoo, yeah, scope parenting. Hashtag winning. Gross.
I'm sorry, I don't recall them saying, yes, let's show this so our grandkids can see it. Please, we want our grandson to be able to see this. So yeah, put it up there. No, that's not what happened. But by all means, they give this impression that it was. I mean, by all means, let's start spinning a false narrative now on top of any other false narratives you got going, because that's the answer here, right? And you know why his kids, and I say kids, even knowing that two of them weren't his, but I mean, he was just as much a father to them as he was to his own son. So yeah, I'm going to say kids. You know why his kids might see this shit online? Because they're going to want to get to know their father. They're going to want to know all they can know about him as a father. And he's not here for them to learn from. So that's going to leave the next best thing. And that's his fucking family. So they're going to want to know his family, no matter how badly Dre wants to stop that from happening. You can't fight that. You can't. It's human nature to want to know your parents, to know who they were as people. And if you can't know them personally, then you're going to want to know the people who knew them. So they're probably going to go looking to see what they can find, especially knowing that their father was a presence on social media. The only way you stop them from possibly seeing this shit is to present them with the knowledge, with everything that they want to know. But you show them the right shit. Because if you don't, then they're going to go looking and you're not going to know what they're going to stumble across. Although I think by and large, they're just going to find good shit about their father online, because that's the majority of it. And what they're really going to take away from any of this other negative shit is that their mom fucked up. I'm sorry. And they shouldn't blame her, I think, maybe necessarily, because that's their mother, you know. But they're going to see what happened. They're going to see that she didn't bother to notify their grandparents about their father. Both times, both when he went into the hospital and when he passed away. That's what they're going to find. And it sounds like that's what you're worried they're going to find. But
absolutely gross. They thought the first death hoax was cute. They thought that was cute, right?
I'm sorry.
That was funny.
When were people laughing about that? Why are you thinking? Oh my God, dude. Did something crack in your head? Like, I mean, they thought that was cute. They thought it was funny. They're ha ha ha. Where do you get this? Is this what you're envisioning in your head? Because if that's what you're envisioning, that might be our problem right there. Is that you are not picturing reality. So, like, you just think people were sitting around laughing at that? That's fucked up.
Oh, we messed up. My bad. Oh, it's not our fault. We didn't do it. We didn't have anything to do with that website. Okay, sure, Jan. It wasn't me. Like pulling a whole unit. Wasn't me. Oh, okay. Okay. But you stood by it, right? But you went on the.
Well, how did they stand by it? They read something that they assumed would be true, because who the fuck would write something like that unless it's true, right? I mean, I think a lot of people bought into it. In fact, people buy into fake news every fucking day. There's a reason why this shit happens all the time with a celebrity or whatever. Or why there's people like flat earthers out there or anti-vax or whatever. It's because people buy into fake fucking news. But then when they, upon learning that it was fake fucking news, they then walked it back. That's the best you could hope for, really, sometimes. I mean, there's a
Went on the live streams and you talked, but you were texting constantly with Molly and Justin. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. That's wonderful. I love that for us too. Okay. Now let's move on to the second death hoax. Okay.
the second.
Again, family who say they love a person that refuses to give his name dignity, refuses to allow any type of dignity to come about
What the
his
fuck does
struggle.
that even mean?
One day, when he wants to speak on his struggle with mental health, he's going to have to say what the internet already knows. He won't be given the right to be able to speak and tell his own fucking story because everybody's so fucking everybody wants to be a mouthpiece for him except for the person who should be, and that's his wife.
Does she think that Vaughn's gonna just wake up and start talking about shit? I mean, I'm a little concerned about what frame of mind she's in. Nobody's speaking on behalf of Vaughn. People just want to know if they should warn him. His parents just want to know if they should warn him. That's it.
Wife. So while you swear up and down that you love him, no, you don't. Your actions look like you hate him. And that's terrifying. It really is so sad.
No, their actions look like they fucking hate his wife because she's withholding all of this from them for no reason. No fucking reason. They're no threat to anyone. They're no threat to Vaughn, especially if he's passed. They're no threat to Dre. They're no threat to anyone. They just want to know.
I'm going to need you guys to get control of your guilt, get control of whatever, handle your grieving process, believe that he is dead, and move on. Don't go to the YouTubers anymore. And
who the fuck are you to tell them this? Who are you? Imagine, seriously, anyone listening to this, imagine sitting in front of these parents and saying, you need to get your fucking grief together. You don't go to talk to these people anymore. You just fucking believe your son is dead and just fucking do what you got to do and move on. Can you imagine? Any one of you listening, because anyone listening will know his parents about as well as Nunya does. Could you imagine the audacity you'd have to fucking think you have a right to say that? Wow. Like, who the fuck does she think she is?
if and whenever the next death hoax comes around,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
don't come back crying. Please. We've been there, done that. We are over it. We're going to be way past it at that point. Nobody has been speaking on this. Since Molly left, it's pretty much been a dead subject. The last time most pages spoke on it was back in February. Do you know why?
The only reason why people are talking on it now is because he's passed away. And yet again, we were still in the same fucking place we were like a year ago. Dre's not telling his parents. His parents are upset. His parents don't know what to do. His parents are just trying to find answers.
Do you know why? Because Dre has her own voice. because she is the reliable source. Fuck any phone call. Fuck anybody who's telling you something otherwise. Even the family, right? Even all of them said,
she's the reliable source. She didn't tell anyone that he was in the hospital until too many people started asking too many questions. So yeah, she's reliable. But I mean, it doesn't matter if she's reliable or not. None of that matters. It's weird that she would say she's the reliable source. Well, she hasn't been honest with anyone. She's withheld information, and not just from viewers, but from his own fucking family. And in fact, when she was first talking about this on social media, she said she needed formula or whatever for him. And that's when people started asking questions. And then she still didn't tell them. She just said an injury, an accident, whatever. She didn't actually tell people what happened. And she didn't have to. She didn't owe anyone anything. I'm not saying she did. But don't sit here and tell me that she's reliable.
we can't tell you anything. You have to ask her. Oh, but now that's changed. We don't need to ask her. We'll just call Frank, who doesn't exist in the employee directory or with them, according to an actual live phone call, start to finish. You hear the phone ring. In that phone call, you hear the person pick up. You hear the introductions. Whole phone call there. Thank you so much. Shout out to Kathy P for doing that.
Oh my God. Again, you guys are idiots. Fucking idiots. You guys called an office that they were not even on the phone with to ask if the person worked there. Why do you think that they were talking to the medical examiner's office on that phone call? Why? They clearly were not. I think that they were talking to like a funeral home, honestly. Mostly because in the beginning, when they said, so he's no longer in your crematorium or whatever that means. And the guy said, well, I never said he was cremated. Well, what you wouldn't call a medical examiner's office a crematorium, but you might call a funeral home one, right? Think about it. They never said it was the medical examiner's office. In fact, in the phone call, they're talking to the person as they're relaying how they called the medical examiner's office. They're explaining to the guy about a phone call they had with the medical examiner's office. Why would they be telling the medical examiner's office about a phone call with the medical examiner's office? Think about it. But no, you keep going with this. You keep running off of this, thinking you're fucking right. And what are you got to double down on this? Just fucking listen to it again. Listen to it again. I don't know what else. Oh my God. It's annoying.
I don't know why y'all hate him so much.
Oh my God.
I don't know. And it breaks my heart because no child, grown or minor, should ever have to deal with that much hate on them.
Wow.
Ever. So it truly is unfortunate that you all have chosen to hate him this much. You all have.
So this is exactly how you show Vaughn dignity. You go on a public stream on YouTube and you tell everyone how his parents hate him. That's what you do. That's how you show him dignity. Sure.
All have taken his name, drug it through the fucking mud, and then picked it up and drug it through the mud again. And then
nobody's dragged Vaughn through the mud. Where do you think that this is dragging Dre through the mud, if anything? It's not touching Vaughn. Nobody wants to harm Vaughn. Nobody wants to speak ill of Vaughn. It's Dre. But sure, let's make this all about Dre.
And decided to fucking take it out to the county fair where the pig sloss may be and drag it through that mud. Because why? Because you hate him?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat, Maps Cat. Listen to Veda. No more Nunya tonight. What do you mean? Is Nunya not on there anymore? Hey, Renelle. Hey, people in chat, good night. Nunya's an idiot. It's like just a perfect drive-through by Renelle. Good night, Renelle. Yeah, I'm going to be going to sleep soon. I was listening to this on my break earlier from work, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home. I got to go home and stream about this. And I finished out the night at work just mildly annoyed by the little bit I did here. So. Huh. Yeah, no one's ever. Yeah. This is like.
No, that's love. That's fighting for him. No, that's not love. I mean, and again, Miss Wynette, I'm not quite sure, because this whole time I thought you were like this Bible thumping, go to Jesus kind of person. And here's the thing: I'm gonna need to remind you of 1 Corinthians 13 that says love is patient, which means you wait. Love is.
Who the fuck are you to tell her to wait? Seriously, who the? What, can you imagine being Letitia, the man's stepmother, and hearing them, some fucking dumbass stranger on YouTube saying, "No, you wait. You have to have patience. You don't get to fucking not wait." That's a little crazy. What the hell is that noise? Dumb dog. I swear to God. I heard this thumping, and I'm like, it almost sounded like it was coming from outside. So I'm like, the fuck is that? It's the dog out in the kitchen. There's like I don't know, like a flying bug or something out there, and she's like trying to pounce on. She eats everything that flies. If it's a bee, she's chomping at it. A moth, a butterfly, it don't matter. If it flies near her head and she sees it, it's like she doesn't even think about it. She just opens her mouth and just fucking takes it away. She's like a cat. Okay, sorry. That kind of freaked me out for a minute. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? Okay.
Love is kind.
Oh, that's where I was. That's where I was. She said that why not? I thought you were some Christian, whatever. Well, Christians are still human. They're still gonna fuck up. Let's not put people on a pedestal just because they're Christian. They're human.
Means you don't throw out some bullshit about somebody killing somebody, okay? It does not envy. Meaning, you don't be jealous of the fact that he wanted to be with his wife and not you. It doesn't collect records of wrongs. And
the dude was 30 almost, right? Of course he's gonna want to be with his wife. But that just sounds weird.
I'm sorry to get preachy for anybody. Please log out if I'm too preachy for you. I'm totally fine with that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to speak my feelings, my heart, that I've been very quiet for 5 days now on.
And clearly, we all must know exactly how Nunya feels about parents wanting to know if their kid's alive or not. I mean, clearly Nunya's feelings need to be taken into consideration here. Like everyone should just stop what they're doing and listen to what Nunya has to say. especially Vaughn's parents, right?
On. Okay. It doesn't keep a record of wrongs. That's all y'all have done.
I'm sorry. Who just listed off every fucking slight that they think Vaughn's parents did to Vaughn throughout his entire life? It doesn't keep a list of wrongs. While I sit here and explain this whole list of wrongs, right? I'm sorry. What list of wrongs have Letitia, Wynette, or Marvin Sr. been keeping track of? What have they thrown out there? Well, unless, well, I'm sure that they have a lot to say about their daughter-in-law. Oh, wait. Are you saying that they shouldn't be keeping a list of wrongs like their daughter-in-law not telling them that their son is in the hospital or the fact that he's passed away? That's the list of wrongs they need to stop having? Is that what is that the list of wrongs you're referring to? Because nobody else has listed wrongs here but you. Again, it's the fucking hypocrisy for me.
Every wrong y'all brought up, right? Yeah, y'all brought up everything she has done. Y'all got a notebook going? Are y'all at pages? You got a composition notebook, or is it a spiral notebook?
You just threw up in their face and held it against them the fact that they didn't drive Vaughn to wrestling practice like fucking 20 something years or 20 years ago. And you want to criticize them for what? For you thinking they have the notebook?
Are y'all out of pages for keeping every fucking thing she's ever done wrong on there? I'm so confused. But y'all preach Jesus, right? Molly was, amen, preach it, sister, yay, Jesus, Lord.
Who the fuck are you to judge somebody else's faith? Who the fuck are you to say whether or not someone is allowed or deserving to be able to speak on their faith or not? Pretty sure, there's a word for that. Is it blasphemy? No, I don't know. It's exerting the will of God, though. Something along that lines. Thou shalt not judge kind of thing. Because, people, I think, get confused on the whole thou shalt not judge concept. No, we all have every right to judge whether or not someone else is an asshole. And in fact, in some settings, I'd say we even have a responsibility to judge whether or not someone should be around us or our loved ones, whatever. But what we don't have a right to do is to judge whether or not someone is deserving of faith, of God's grace. That's what we don't have a right to judge. And it sounds to me like that's exactly what you're fucking judging here.
Christ, God, yay! Fuck out of here.
See?
Check your hearts. Because your hearts and your actions say hate. They don't say that you loved him. They don't say that you have.
I'm sorry. I was stunned for a second there from all the warm, fuzzy feelings I was getting from this wonderful stream of love and just happiness. Oh my God. It's the hypocrisy for me.
Any iota of love for him. Because if you did, you would absolutely want peace. You would absolutely sit the fuck back, know your role, and shut your goddamn mouth. That's what you would do.
Who the fuck are you? Nunya here wants everyone to believe that if she were in Letitia's shoes, Nunya would absolutely know her role, sit the fuck back and shut up right now. Clearly, that is what Nunya would do, because that's clearly the type of person Nunya is. Can't you tell from this stream of her not knowing her role, of her not sitting back and shutting the fuck up? Clearly, if she were in a position to have her daughter-in-law not even tell her that her son was gone, Clearly, Nunya would know her role and sit the fuck back and shut up. Just shut up. Oh my God, just stop. For someone who really wants everyone to just shut up about it real bad, you sure really are making decisions and acting like you want everyone to never keep their names out of their mouths.
That's exactly what you would do. While y'all currently claim to love him, you don't. It is crystal clear at this point. If we didn't know before. So true crime dime, please, I'm going to ask respectfully that we not do that. And the only reason why is because I respect Letitia's choice at a young age to give him up for adoption.
You don't respect a
I
fucking
truly
thing.
do. I absolutely do. And I think that she did what was best in that moment. But that doesn't excuse her current actions. He loved his grandmother to death. Excuse me. And every time he talked about her, every time they were on the phone with each other, he would tell you how much he loved his grandfather who passed away. That was his dad. That was enough for him.
No.
I need that.
No, that wasn't. No, I'm telling. It may have been enough in the fact that he had a role model. But I can't imagine being in Vaughn's shoes. And you're always going to want your parents to be your parents. And I don't know how much they were involved in his life. I don't need to know. I don't care. I mean, the bottom line is whether they were heavily involved in Vaughn's life or barely involved in Vaughn's life, they have every right to know what happened to him. They have every fucking right. And no one's got a right to say otherwise. Not even Dre.
Them to honor that. It has nothing to do with her giving up for an adoption. I don't give a fuck about that. Good for you. I get it. That must have been hard. I can imagine.
No, you can't imagine. I'm sorry. You're not imagining anything that can be hard here because you're making an ass out of yourself, Nunya. Like you are just really showing the kind of person you are. And there's some ugliness that lives in you. Like it's really fucking ugly.
But it was right for him. He found love in his grandparents, great-grandparents, which were his parents. He found love in them. And who wouldn't want that for their kid? But now, right? Now, in the worst time of his life.
So what? He doesn't need any more love? So why do his parents want to love him too? Oh my God, like how selfish of them.
He finds hate.
Hate.
He finds hate.
Hate.
And at the end of the day,
first of all, let's not get disillusioned here or anything. He's not finding anything right now. And I hate to it seems like her whole argument is based off of he's going to miraculously wake up one day and see all these wrongs committed against him. And he's going to feel such hate and feel such grief or whatever. You're making an argument that doesn't exist. He's not going to know any of this. He's not going to feel hate. He doesn't feel hate. The only one feeling hate right now is Dre. Dre's the only one feeling hate right now. Well, I imagine Letitia, Marvin Sr., and Why Not are feeling some hate too. But the only person that you're talking about feeling hate is Dre. You're trying to put Dre's feelings and experiences onto Vaughn. Why?
While you all want to point the finger at Dre
See?
for any of
See?
this,
That's it. That's it right there.
that
That's it right there. You're trying to say that, oh my God, Vaughn is there's all this hate being thrown at Vaughn. How he's gonna wake up and know all this hate or whatever. Because you're pointing the finger and all this shit at Dre. That's the problem, isn't it? Why are you out here simping so hard for Dre? That's what I want to know. Like, nothing against Dre. Like, whatever. I honestly don't have any dog in any fight with Dre. I don't even think about Dre. But why are you out here making a total ass out of yourself and believing or coming across like you're fucking right? And why are you out here doing this for Dre? Why? It's fucking crazy.
And that there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. And I have yet to hear one of you, Letitia, haven't heard you do it. Marvin Sr., haven't heard you do that. Haven't heard one of you say, damn, maybe I handled this wrong. Damn, maybe I could have done this differently. Fuck.
I'm sorry, they owe that to you? You think you need to hear that? You should hear that? You think that they need to say that to you or say that so that you hear it? Why the fuck would you hear that? It's none of your goddamn business, right? Only they're not fucking public figures like Dre and Vaughn or whatever. They're not out there putting their whole lives on display. They called into a fucking YouTube channel on Panel a couple of times. That's what they did and made some fucking posts. And they only did so to get answers about their fucking kid. You're not owed a fucking thing by them. You're not owed an apology. You have no fucking right to expect to hear them say sorry if they are in fact sorry. Who do you think you are here? This is fucking crazy.
Fuck, I really regret saying this. I really regret doing this. If only I would have stayed away from this. If only I wouldn't have gone down that one. If I could give every dime back and go backwards, I would. Never heard that from you guys. You guys are the proudest you could ever be.
They're proud. You hear pride. That's what you hear. So when Marvin Sr. is up on Molly's panel, they're crying because he just doesn't have answers about whether or not his son lives or dies right now. That's pride. You're sensing fucking pride there.
Round of applause. Because you're the proudest you could ever be. You are entitled, sick people. And you don't deserve.
You hear that, everyone? If you think you have a right to know if your kid's dead or alive, you're just an entitled fucking sick fuck. That's what you are. That's what she just said, basically.
Deserve shit. I pray that you never, ever get an update. Oh, Nunya, that's so wrong. How could you wish that on them? Yeah, no, I can. I absolutely can, and I just did. No, but people don't agree with it. Cool. Don't agree with it. I truly don't give a fuck at this point. What they have done, not one person has considered him in this. Oh, that's all they're doing is fighting for their son. No.
Oh, so Dre's just been fighting for Vaughn this whole time? So everyone else has been fighting for Vaughn. You're fighting for Vaughn right now by saying that you hope that his parents never fucking know if he's dead or alive. That's how you're choosing to fight for Vaughn. Is that it? That's some fucked up shit. You got issues. Like, you seriously got fucking... What is wrong with you?
No, they're not. They're fighting against their daughter-in-law. Say that shit right and say it with your chest. That's not what it is. They're fighting with their daughter-in-law. They're not fighting for their son. They don't give a fuck about him. They don't.
You keep saying over and over again how no one should listen or believe anything unless it comes from Dre. So you are effectively pushing, asserting this concept that Dre is the fucking key and lock of all things Marvon. And then you want to give them shit for fighting with the key and lock person of their son to know if he's dead or alive. Listen, everyone. Dre is the authority, the only one authorized to speak on this, the only one anyone should ever listen to or believe. How dare you fight with her because you want to know if he's dead or alive, and she won't tell you? You're setting them up for failure, and you're blaming them for it. But why are you doing that, Nunya? Why do you care? You got to be pretty fucking well invested to hate on two people grieving the loss of their son so fucking publicly and so maddeningly. Why do you?
They only care about her. What happens to her? Where she goes from here? What happens next? How can we do this? One of the first things out of Marvon's mouth when he was on that live stream, I don't know, Friday, Saturday, whatever fucking day it was. And she's going to get everything, all of his shit, all of his stuff. But it's not about money. That's what he says, literally back to back. Wait, I'm sorry, what? She's going to get, so is that what this is about? If he passes away, you're not going to get his stuff? What?
I don't even know what she's talking about.
What is wrong with you guys? What is the matter with you? That's all he is to you? A paycheck?
What in what world would that be a thing? Like, if Dre doesn't get it, do they get it? I'm gonna say no. So why do you think that's a thing for them? Maybe they just don't want to see her get the last parts upon the last things on this earth associated, connected to their son. When she can't even be bothered to tell them if he's dead or not. Maybe they just don't want to see her get it. But they're not after it themselves. Ever think that? Maybe they're just so fucking mad right now that they just can't fucking get an answer. And instead of being understood or empathized with, they got Nunya on fucking YouTube telling them that she hopes they never get an update and they ain't got any right to know, and it's none of their fucking business. I can't imagine why they're so angry.
That's it. Money, 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 money. Hey, Lynette, pull out your Bible, because I'm pretty sure it also says that money is the root of all evil. That's what it says in the Bible too. Okay, just want to make sure. I'm going to give you some.
Where does it say that in the Bible? Where in the Bible does it fucking say the money is the root of all evil? Like, does it say that in the Bible? I'm pretty sure that that's like it's a human cliche or something that's come about. Like, did they even have money back then? Like, seriously. They had like gold. They didn't. I mean, money is the root of all evil. To call it money, first of all, isn't that like an American concept? I don't know. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't like a BC kind of concept. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that didn't come from the Bible. But they do say, though, or it does say somewhere in the Bible, that out of all the 7 deadly sins, pride is the worst. You may want to take note of that one there, Nunya.
Give you some verses so you can, maybe fix it. I don't know. I don't even think Jesus could fix it at this point. Dre has been very clear. She was very clear. If you watch her public live streams, they're out there. Very clear on February 14th when she came back. The bridge with the family is burnt.
Okay,
that
here's
shit
nonsense is over here in the comments here. First of all, Nunya's up here talking about the family, okay? Why not? Marvin Sr., Letitia, Nonsense. Just remember, they did this to a tragedy that wasn't even a true crime true crime cause. If anyone thinks they couldn't be in these stories, guess again, because with these scum, it's possible, sadly. So she's all hung up on Molly. She's just here gunning for Molly. And Nunny's up here talking to everyone else. I mean, y'all aren't even on the same page. You're just fucking using and exploiting this to fucking come at anyone and everyone that you fucking want to hate on. I mean, but sure, that's completely given dignity to Maran, right? Nonsense being there in the comment section, using this to hate on Molly still after 10 months. That's so dignified. Y'all are worse than anyone else here involved. You're just as bad, if not worse.
It is burnt more than the wildfires in California. They are done. They're never going to get an update. That is their choice. This is what they have done, not what she did. They chose to allow people to say things about her that were untrue. They chose to stand by while she was...
I'm sorry. They get to control. You think that they control what comes in anyone else's mind and comes out of their mouths? You're going to hold them responsible for something someone else said? Wow.
Was absolutely horridly harassed, attacked, docked, and I don't dock. Excuse me.
I'm sorry. My dog needs to go out, and she's gonna. I don't want to piss and shit in the house, so I need to wrap this up because I have to be at work in like fucking 6 hours. Next week, 5.5 now. So I really shouldn't have streamed tonight, but I needed to get some shit out, and I think I'm probably gonna stream tomorrow or Sunday, probably Sunday. More of this because I don't feel cleansed yet, and I want to feel cleansed. But for now, I gotta hurry up and go before she pisses in the house. So thanks for being here. Go check out Beta's Live if you don't watch it yet. I guess Nunya came up on panel. I'm gonna go check that out right after I walk the dog. So good night. Thanks for being here. Bye everyone.